Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thanks for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. You spend a significant portion of your life at work, so my goal is to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am delighted to welcome a dear friend and a very special guest to the show today, Deborah Rooney. Deb, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Caroline.
Hey, I am so excited to be chatting with you. Just to fill our audience in, you and I have known each other since college at Indiana University, and it's delightful to reconnect in the career development space. I want to tell everybody all about you. Deborah Rooney, MS.Ed, is the owner of Power Links to Success. She earned her master's degree in higher ed and student affairs from the Indiana University and spent 17 years in corporate leadership, marketing, and HR roles. Now, Deb specializes in teaching job hunters and sales leaders how to use LinkedIn to connect with new opportunities. She works with highly motivated global executive leaders, adults in career transition, sales managers, and recent grads. And she also teaches them how to apply unique strategies that she has uniquely developed using LinkedIn to set themselves apart from the myriad of other job seekers to increase interviews and get back to work faster. So Deb, this is music to the ears of our global audience, but I'd love for you to set us up. What are some of the most exciting features about LinkedIn that you teach to your clients? Because as you and I know, it has now been acquired by Microsoft and changes are coming rapidly.
Well, Caroline, one of the things that most of LinkedIn users don't realize is the sheer size. To date, LinkedIn has 500 million global members,
Wow.
And it grows by 120 new members a minute. So as we think about that, that's really the world's largest resume database. And for those of us who are helping people get back to work or grow businesses or make connections, it's an amazing professional community where we can help one another. For the last 6 years, Caroline, I've used LinkedIn exclusively to grow an unlimited lead machine to reach out and help job hunters and business owners anywhere in the world. So as you know, it's a valuable community that we can help one another get back to work and have more opportunities to connect with people that can be great resources to us.
I find it just extraordinarily informative, and I know you and I are also using the blog and the article feature, and it's a way not only to build our professional communities, but to put our subject matter expertise out into the world.
Right, and a lot of members don't realize that they have the opportunity, Caroline, to publish articles on LinkedIn Pulse. And what's phenomenal about that is when you put information out there that's your expertise, best practices, or stories, it allows you to connect with people around the world. For instance, I recently posted an article about LinkedIn and Legos and how I've been sharing what I do with my son. And I had a member from South Africa reach out to me.
Wow.
And compliment me on that article. So to be able to touch somebody across the country and start a conversation and make an introduction with her to other people was powerful.
So, Deb, there's so many people hanging their shingle as career coaches and folks who can help leverage LinkedIn profiles, and that's great. I highly recommend that people utilize help out there. However, what you do is very unique and very different. So help us understand how your services are really special.
Well, a number of ways. First of all, I come from a background in corporate and went through multiple downsizings. So I understand uniquely how frustrating it is to be job searching and that there needs to be a strategy behind getting back to work faster, Caroline, so that you connect more quickly with the employers. So one of the things that I do is I teach unique and innovative strategies to get my clients back to work quickly. And other trainers focus on building a profile page and connections. But I measure results based upon the number of interviews that my clients get on a weekly basis, because that's really the only metric that you need in connecting with jobs quickly. I also offer, Caroline, personalized collaborative one-on-one training. I rewrite the profile content with my clients so it's in their authentic voice. We discuss job search strategies. And then I also help them navigate LinkedIn to identify and create relationships with upper-level internal decision makers. So when you initiate conversations with a targeted employer, it expedites your hiring.
And I so appreciate that laser beam focus, right? Because it's easy well, frankly, to not use LinkedIn to your best advantage. But what you're doing is really empowering the individual to be specific.
It is. And I'm really excited when I teach my strategies to struggling job hunters. And the light bulb goes on, Caroline. I mean, you understand that from a coaching perspective because I'm helping my clients get empowered to take control of their search. I also offer a month of support following our 2-hour training sessions so that I can accelerate their search, continue to collaborate and answer their questions. And then from all of this great work, I've earned over 250 client recommendations from my clients in helping them. So this has been an extremely rewarding opportunity for me to reach out and help people all around the globe.
And that's really epic. I mean, 250 client recommendations is huge. So kudos to you. Let's talk a little bit, Deb, about the recruiter, right? You are empowering the client to be seen and heard on LinkedIn by those recruiters, by those executive search and headhunter professionals. So, what should the client be thinking to be sticky on LinkedIn? What should they be thinking about how to be found by those recruiters?
Sure. Well, that's a great question, Caroline. First of all, I teach my clients to look at their LinkedIn profile as if they're their own chief marketing officer, and this is their website. And so they want to tell their unique story. They also want to have their job ads in front of them, and they want to make sure that they're clear about the language they're using on their profile so that the targeted employers, Caroline, find them quickly. Because every word is keyword searchable, not only what we write about ourselves, but also the recommendations that we've earned from our colleagues. So all of that together creates a very powerful marketing platform. But the most important piece for any job hunter, Caroline, is thinking about your profile, again, like a website, in terms of search engine optimization. So you want to drive as much employer traffic to your profile as quickly as possible so that you stand out from your competition and that you're found by employers and screened and invited to interview. So those conversations, Caroline, will be expedited, and you're using your profile as a catalyst to get back to work more quickly, because if we don't actively introduce ourselves to each other, we're really a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, that's so well put. And let's face it, if there are 500 million members, that's a lot of hay, right? So
yes,
how do you distinguish yourself?
Yes.
So, Deb, let me ask, there are some do's and don'ts on LinkedIn, and it drives me crazy. It's a personal pet peeve when someone does not have a photo or they've got a really skeleton profile and they just didn't take the time or the effort to really fill out all of the content and showcase what the return on investment is to an employer. What are your thoughts on that? Can a bad LinkedIn profile hurt you?
I think that if someone has a skeleton profile, as you say, Caroline, it's probably because they don't truly understand the value of LinkedIn. And maybe they're not using it either to grow a business or to market themselves for a job. So for people that are actively growing relationships and creating mutually beneficial relationships with employers, my suggestion is, to seriously consider a solid photo. What I recommend is something that gives the impression that the employer or your future business partner feels like they've met you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be professional, but have it be as professional looking as possible so that you look competent, friendly, and personable.
Nice.
And then, working through every section of your profile, focus on what your accomplishments and transferable skills are. Because if you are gainfully employed, your profile is a wonderful marketing piece for your company. So you might not be looking, but prospective candidates might be looking, and they'll look you up and say, wow, this person's impressive. This looks like a great company to work for.
Excellent. So, Deb, I know you focus on very particular age groups, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that, the type of job seeker that you really treasure working with?
Well, I am really fortunate, Caroline, to have such a variety of talented people. So my global clients actually range in age from 22 to over 64 in every imaginable industry. So on a weekly basis, I have a combination of new grads, executive leaders, transitioning military. So it makes a very, eclectic group on a weekly basis. And what most people are missing is that understanding or that knowledge of how to market themselves to their targeted audience. And that's where they need the help, because for a job hunter, Caroline, just applying and waiting for the phone to ring is a very long process.
Yeah.
So when I work with my clients of any age, any part of the world, in any industry, we really focus on how can we use LinkedIn as your most powerful personal marketing tool.
Excellent. I so appreciated your candor when you said, look, I've been there. I've been through downsizings in the corporate world, and we know that is continuing to happen daily with merger and acquisition realities. So, what's the one thing you want the audience to know about being resilient and being able to recover from that?
I think the most important thing a person can do when they're in transition is start looking at jobs that they can get excited about. Set up a job alert through LinkedIn, because there's so many great features to the LinkedIn jobs. And let's face it, LinkedIn is like the online Swiss Army knife. It's got features to do a variety of great things. But when I get my clients out of either the grief or frustration of leaving a job from a downsizing, to get them to start looking at what the next chapter is, and to start to get excited about the next job, it's like walking through a home that you're looking at buying. You look at the lighting, you see if your furniture fits there, you see if you can see yourself in it, and it's the same thing with the job. So if I can get them excited about how they're going to use their transferable skills and their expertise to move through that culture, is it a good fit? Can they see themselves, Caroline, in the activity and daily responsibilities of the company? Then that really empowers them to start thinking about, hey, this is my next chapter. I'm going to be confident and proactive in my search. And that really gives them the energy and the excitement to have a fruitful search.
Well done. Hey, I'm so impressed with your career reinvention, because you went from the classic corporate environment to becoming a successful entrepreneur and a consultant and a coach, and you've had to flex some different muscles. So are you enjoying it?
Oh, I love it. I think it's so rewarding. I mean, to be able to go well beyond the local footprint, to use phones, Skype, Google Plus, and to reach people, and to be able to help people get back to work. I think our LinkedIn community has a really powerful mission to do that. And I'm really so fortunate, Caroline, because I started off studying French to be a high school teacher, and then moved on to work in university work, and then to go on to corporate. So I'm using all of these great skills with all these terrific populations in helping people across the country.
That's amazing. So tell me about your business goals and what might be next for you. How will your entrepreneurial work continue to evolve?
Well, what really excites me is that the growth of LinkedIn, because it's such an amazing tool for those of us that want to get out there and help people. And so for the last 6 years, Caroline, I've used LinkedIn exclusively to grow an unlimited lead machine. So there isn't anybody that I can't reach out and offer help to. But my goals specifically are to help as many struggling job hunters get back to work as possible. They need encouragement and they need to be empowered. And then in addition to that, my other two goals, Caroline, are to work with more veterans. I've been working with an increasing number of military veterans, and they take for granted their amazing leadership abilities. And so they need someone to cheer them on and help them connect with employers that are searching for their skills.
Excellent.
Excellent. And the third thing I wanted to mention too is the third goal is to collaborate with university career placement departments. I really have a passion with using my background in higher education student affairs to help college students connect with jobs more quickly. And the students I work with across the United States, they really don't have a clear idea of what to do when they graduate, how to prepare for the search and to interview. So I would really love the opportunity, Caroline, to work with the college administrators and help their students use LinkedIn more efficiently.
You know, it's extraordinary. You and I share an alma mater in Indiana University, and certainly some students leave Indiana University with all of our campuses statewide in Indiana with very strong LinkedIn profiles. Not all, and it's a massive school, Big Ten Research One university. So I will say we make valiant strides, but the reality is students all over the world are not leveraging LinkedIn like they could. So your resources are valuable and essential. So I'm so glad we can broadcast this global message for you today. You know, Deb, just a moment to brag on you. What I love about you is you empower your clients with self-confidence, because as I mentioned, quite often we get that bruised ego when the downsizing happens or the right sizing. It never feels good, and we always take it personally, even if it is just a black and white business decision, and you help applicants get back on their emotional feet. So I thank you for that.
Absolutely. And you know what, I think it helps for me to empathize and connect with them, because I've been through that, and it is a confidence shaker, but you move past that. And when you've worked with somebody like myself who's been through that, I think it helps for my clients to know that they're listened to, that I appreciate their experience, and I'm able to help them move on.
I agree 100%. Hey, another quick walk down memory lane. So again, yes. I mentioned Indiana University, and you talked about your studies in French and higher education, student affairs. So what is your takeaway? How did you synthesize that academic experience? Is there a favorite memory or a course or a faculty member that you attribute to your career success?
Well, for my undergraduate, and then I moved right on to graduate school. So I had 7 years at IU, and I absolutely loved IU Bloomington. And one of the teachers that impacted me the most, his name was Michael Birkbaum, and he was in the French department. And I feel like one of my majors was in Birkbaum, because I studied with him for the full 7 years, even when I was no longer studying towards my French degree, but while I was earning my higher education student affairs degree. So I really had just phenomenal teachers, but the environment was phenomenal. And I take my family back to IU as often as possible to walk around the campus and just enjoy the environment.
Oh, that's awesome. Deb, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your expertise to this global audience. I want to remind everybody, your business is called Power Links to Success. But tell us how we can find you online and utilize your services.
Well, your audience can find me on LinkedIn. My full name is Deborah Rooney. Last name is Rooney. First name Deborah, Deborah. And then after my name, I have my initials MSED. And I would be happy to speak with anybody in your audience who has some questions about my work.
Excellent. Thanks, Deb. I hope our paths cross in person sometime soon. I haven't seen you in person in a good long time, but what a joy to have you on the show. I'm grateful for your wisdom and expertise.
Thank you so much, Caroline.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. Career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing so you can do more of it. The show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.